Hello again. Um, well, I have to honestly say I believe that I did better with this interview than the couple uh, that I did last semester. Okay. Um, in thinking about the skills that John Pullen mentions in his book, Strengths-Based General Practice. Um, Of course, the info retrieval is rather minimal for um, especially this mock situation. Um, but there was some done, of course. The crisis operator, who took the call, um, retrieved information from them, from the police when I got there. Excuse me. Uh, um, The elaboration skills. I believe that most of my questions were open-ended. A lot of minimal prompts. I kind of feel like I'm doing that now. Sometimes I think I nod my head too much. And seeking concreteness. I think I did this when I asked Wilma to tell me what led up to the yelling and her punching her husband. Um, Also, I think this occurred when Fred was talking about his frustration with his wife and how she wasn't spending time with with the baby the way he feels it should occur between a mom and child. And I had asked him, to tell me about what happened that evening. But I listened to him, and then I asked the question again to, get the information that I needed from both of them. And I have to say, I do not believe I did any summarizing with them. That is sad. There weren't really any silences to explore, so no issue there. And again, my empathy skills, I have focused listening. I definitely, picked up an answer or asked about the punching and the grabbing of the arm, to find out, how often this happens and how often these little accidents happen with the baby. And I believe that I had reflective empathy in commenting on Wilma's long hours as a nurse and how frustrating that can be for the family. And also, giving my understanding to Fred about the accidents happening with the baby. So, one thing that I did not bring up in the intervention was that based on the fact that Fred said that before the baby was born, everything was fine. I mean, typical between he and his wife. But that the anger with Wilma began after the baby was born. And, when Wilma defended herself as far as spending quality time with the baby, she mentions, feeding and bathing her. And I just can't help but wonder whether, she's suffering from postpartum depression. I just wasn't sure whether to mention that to them. Maybe it could have been a hopeful sign for them, you know, understanding that you know, the situation could be temporary, hopefully, if she could work through that. But I suppose, you know, the anger management class will probably bring her to that junction as well. And of course, you know, I'm sure we all remember the Jackal and Giraffe teachings early on in this academic career. And I suppose that's another subject that I'd like to address that was a challenge. I know that Wilma, you know, made some negative comments about her husband, as Fred did too, you know. She calls him lazy and a jerk. He called her a lunatic. I didn't deal with that. I'm not sure. I guess I'm just not sure how I would have commented to them on that. Something I have to go back and read through that literature. But at the same time, you know, I don't want to come off as, you know, Big Mama and just correcting everything they say, you know. Like I said, the ego psychology, you know, talks about allowing the client to vent. And so, I don't know, I guess I kind of thought that maybe that was something, you know, that was okay to overlook. So maybe if any of you see this video, I know it came in late, but maybe you can, you know, let me know what your opinions are on that. I'm sorry, just lost my thought. So, I know I've got a long ways to go with this, but again, I'm feeling better. I feel like it's one of my better videos that I've done, on my own anyway, as far as being the social worker and interviewing, so and I guess that about wraps it up. It was fun. Not the technology of it. It took quite a bit to get this done, even with today, because it wasn't recording, so anyhow, it's done. Here it is, and thank you. Bye.